Well, you need a good right-wing villain, right? They always said the fascism is on the far right. The idea doesn't hold any water and it doesn't make any sense. First of all, the word Nazi is a German acronym, NSDAP, Deutschland Apparatzeitpartei, the National Socialist German Workers' Party. In other words, you can't spell Nazi without Socialist Workers' Party. Fascism is from fascisti, which means a bundle of sticks. Fascism, Nazism, communism all have in common is they are all collectivist philosophies. They all have a big state, single ruler, command control of the economy, absolute gun control, cradle to grave benefits, large state-sponsored work programs. They're the Democrats. There's no distinction from them. The opposite of communist is not the Nazi. The opposite of the Nazis and the communists is this idea of limited government, individuality, which in the case of Nazism, fascism, and socialism was spat upon. Nazism, socialism, fascism, these three ideologies, the same thing, these big state totalitarianisms, giant state, centralized power, cult of personality, all those things. The Tea Party is the opposite. Hollywood and the rest of sociologists need something to counterweight all the murders that have been accomplished by the communist socialists. The Republican Party was the party that liberated the slaves. The Republican Party was designed to free black people. That's why it was there. They're called the Black Republicans. When the Republican Party was founded in 1856, it was a radical party. It still believes in liberating black people. Its philosophy hasn't changed. We are now trying to conserve that radical idea that black people should be treated as individuals. Likewise, we're now conservatives because what we're trying to conserve is classical liberalism. Now liberalism means big state progressivism, autocracy, control. Communism sucks.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Brock Lawley program. My name is Brock Lawley. I am your fearless host. This is a show we tackle the news headlines, sifting out the leftist lies like the chaff that they are from the golden wheat of truth. Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly the truth, what you just heard. Put that little compilation together because all you're hearing is projection. And I don't mean to set you up with some sort of hyperbolic word there. Now, that's exactly what I mean. The left is pure projection. After 8 years of lawlessness, they accuse the Trump administration of lawlessness. After 8 years of unconstitutional behavior, they accuse the Trump administration of this. I mean, everything down to authoritarianism. Listen, big, huge, massive coercion by the state has to enter stage left. The right wants to shrink the state. Now, I'll grant you this. That the American right in the establishment Republican sector whisper sweet nothings and don't really have those principles. But my point is that you can't be fascistic in the American right system. You can't be fascistic and arm every free citizen. You can't be fascistic and want to shrink the federal government, the IRS, the tools through which you would wait for it, force somebody to do something through the state. It's preposterous. It's all projection, ladies and gentlemen. It's all projection. Literally, we are talking about, we are not figuratively talking here, we are not telling yarns or stories. We are literally saying that what the left goes on television and writes in a newspaper about every day, they are guilty of. They are guilty of. They are guilty of. I want to repeat that one more time. The left is guilty of wanting to use the state to coerce behavior. The left is guilty of wanting to disarm the American citizenry. The left is the entity of power that wants to force you to do things through the arm and the gun of the state. Is the left that thinks there should be a centralized elitist power. It is the left that has a track record of filling body bags in genocidal-like style using the state. It is the left. I don't care how many times the insane, deranged stable of circus donkeys that they have on MSNBC's primetime say differently. What I'm saying is factually true, historically true, etc. The left is a whole progressive pageant of projection, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, let's just start with the carrot. Let's start with the candy. Let's start with the ear candy, baby.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Yeah! Together we will determine the course of America and the world for many, many years to come. A small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores, with not even a thought about the millions and millions of American workers. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first. I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. We will bring back our wealth. And we will bring back our dreams. Hear these words. You will never be ignored again. We will make America strong again. And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is right. New sheriff in town, baby. New sheriff in town. American energy, green light. American jobs, green light. American prosperity, green light. About time, and let me just say it as plainly as I can, we have a man in the Oval Office that, wait for it, I know how shocking this is to the left, loves America, wants America to succeed, wants America to do well. I know this has become all but blasphemy on the left, but one needs only take a moment of common sense thinking to see that every other nation state, if they're worth their salt, if they're not Europe, have a president that wants the best for the country he or she is leading. It is preposterous what we have gone through in the last 8 years. And it will be abundantly clear as the days turn into weeks, turn into months, turn into years. It will be abundantly clear. Now you have this psychopath left. We're going to get into the stack here, the stories. Listen, if the left have Bush derangement syndrome, they are full-gutted sedatives, Mad Hatter, straitjacket in a padded room, howling at the fictional moon. That is how off the rocker, insane, delusional, deranged the left has become. Everywhere you look, there isn't a mainstream news source that has been able to keep their crap together. It is unbelievable the stuff that's being said, being done, being accepted as normal. Look, the people burning their bras and wearing vagina hats in the street, they are not the normal. They are not the average. They are not the mainstream. Oh, your insane, discredited, fully exposed media will say something different. But they have zero credibility, ladies and gentlemen. Zero credibility. If WikiLeaks has not convinced you of that, you're a sycophant. They have their own handwriting on the signed letter. We are Democrat hacks. Signed ABC, NBC, CNN, CBS, right down the line. They're all just statist Democrat Party stooges, so I could care less. I don't give two butt trumpet blows filled with bologna meat smell what the media has to say about anything, nor should you. Nor should anybody with intellectual credibility. Nor should anybody. President Obama strengthens immigration laws. Build a wall, ladies and gentlemen, build a wall, restricting illegal immigration. Suspend immigration from dangerous states. Now note the New York Times, the piece I will send you to. The melodramatic language, the cause for violence, which, by the way, that's the thread through the tapestry of the stories today. Left becoming very comfortable with violence. Now, they always have been, but they've been pushed to the edge. They always have been. There is no other way acceptable but the left way, right? That's basically what they're saying. Oh, they're calling everybody that moves a racist, and Donald Trump's every derogatory name and every derogatory historical ornamentation they can hang on him. But at the end of the day, it's just not leftism. The crime Donald Trump has, the crime anybody who's not a liberal has, is just not leftism. Not leftism is what? It's the new racism, it's the new bigotry, the homophobia, it's the xenophobia, it's the new Hitler. Not leftism means unacceptable. But these stooges are in for a rude awakening because this juggernaut is not playing around. Hit the ground running. There is straight up tire marks all over the first 100 yards of this guy's administration. And it is a thing to see. New York Times, quote, "We are in the hands of a maniac." That's a quote, by the way. And this passes for news analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't an opinion piece. No, this is hard-hitting news analysis from the New York Times. We are in the hands of a maniac, unquote. They're untethered maniacs by way of the way they're transitioning this transfer of power. It's just remarkable to me. It's just the level of coddled that the Democrats have found themselves in. Now listen, despite what they're going to hit with everything they have by way of a cultural arsenal. The noise will be loud. But I just want to remind you, these people have no power. They are distancing themselves from anybody with a shred of intellectual honesty. It is fascinating to watch this. They're going to create this whole Potemkin village. They've been doing it for the last 8 years, and the last election proved that, right? They were not in the minority. Their thinking were not. They were not in the majority. Their thinking was not in the majority. And Trump is just calling out their crap. You know, the latest thing, everybody's like, oh my gosh, Trump said there was illegal voting by illegal immigrants. There is. There factually is. You can look at the voting logs. There is. I know there has been rampant voter fraud in my state for years. The state of Pennsylvania has proven precincts coming in over number, all kinds of. He's 100% right about this. He's 100% right. And you know what Trump's doing? He's pushing back on their narrative, on their he's not legitimate, he doesn't deserve this or that narrative. It's brilliant. It's absolutely what he should be doing. This from the Washington Post. Trump is Hitler. Trump, all in the same piece. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Stalin. Trump is Molotov. Trump is Mussolini. And you know who else they hate? Sean Spicer. Sean Spicer, man, I got to tell you, I've been loving this press secretary. Just punching back, baby. And look, these guys are all paper tigers. You know, Trump is punching below his weight. I assure you of that. Look, these guys, they're paper tigers. They don't understand a world where they don't get to bully. They don't understand a world where there's alternative opinions, alternative thoughts. They can't even mentally comprehend it. That's why the hysterics parade. That's the reason. I mean, any other press corps would be used to having tussles with alternative thoughts and ideas. And by the way, guys, aside from the partisanship, the biggest heartbreak of this, the way the press is acting, is I am very much in favor of a fourth estate. Very much in favor. I believed in it so much I got a journalism degree and became a journalist. But there exists none. Don't fool yourself. There does not exist a fourth estate. Now, am I a sycophant for the president? Absolutely not. Do I even agree with like 75% of what he does? No. I'm talking about maybe 25% of the Trump agenda I don't agree with word for word. But I don't find my vetting on Trump in the mainstream press. They're a deranged bunch of rabies-bitten lunatics. No, I look for thoughtful pieces. Most of the time I find them in the foreign press, believe it or not, that looks on the administration soberly, without like a diseased mind. So yes, the press once again fails us because we absolutely need a fourth estate. We don't need a Democrat Party attack dog. We need a fourth estate. We need somebody watching out for you. See, when the Democrat press sits down to write a story, they don't think to themselves, what is best for Joe Sixpack raising a family of 4 on $50,000 a year? They don't think, what is best for a single mother trying to raise a daughter in the inner city of Chicago? They don't think anything like that. They think, what is best for Democrat Party politics? That's not a fourth estate. And don't let anybody convince you that that is a fourth estate. Those people should be undermined, mocked, belittled, driven from all spheres of authenticity and authority in society because they have none except in their own minds and in the world of the deranged lunatic 2017 left. This week in hate, ladies and gentlemen, Trump is even responsible. This is a piece in the New York Times. This is how insane these people have gone. I'm just giving you another example. Trump is also responsible for the hate directed at Trump from them. He's also responsible for that hate. Trump's responsible for the mythical hate that they create that emanates from Trump. And he's also now responsible from the hate that stirs in their own diseased minds and corrupted hearts projected towards Trump. You see that? Trump is responsible either way. It's a convenient world. I mean, when you're in the left, you get to wash your lily white hands of all responsibility. You are just pure as the wind driven snow simply because you're a leftist. It's been that way all my life. It's a hilarious cognitive dissonance that they live in. Greenpeace, ladies and gentlemen, hangs a banner from a crane near the White House. By the way, I looked into this. They don't own the banner. So why isn't this graffiti or vandalism? And why aren't they prosecuted? For the same reason that they can take Soros money and wreak violence on the city of Washington at will. Because on the left, you get to be lawless. And it's not even lawlessness, it's virtue. You see that? So you get to vandalize somebody else's property because you don't believe in policies. Now, don't get me wrong. If they owned the crane or if they wanted to buy the billboard, free speech. But you don't get to the Greenpeace is always doing this. They're destroying people's property, but they're great because they're Greenpeace. You see what I mean? They're awesome. Simply because they're leftists. This is the mindset that the left exists under. The mayor of San Francisco, quote, "We will always be a sanctuary city." Well, good. You won't always be getting federal money then. I'd love to see that city come to a grinding halt, because all it is a trough off the federal government. It's not like you're producing anything. You're full of leftists. You can't even procreate. Last week I told you about a story. The left can't even be bothered to procreate. They can't even be bothered to replace themselves. That's just good news for the right, baby. Breed those fools out of there. I love Trump's rhetoric on Chicago, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just addressing the problem. This is why he's gonna move the needle in the black community, and this is why he's gonna bypass the press. Because look, the Democrats do nothing but talk. As the black schools languish, they block things like school choice that have a direct correlation in helping black families. They don't spend any money in actually solving the inner city problems. It's, after all, when you hear these stats in Chicago that MSNBC, CBS, NBC just dismisses, those are black children that belong to black parents. Trump's saying, "What the heck's going on?" And to add insult to injury, the cream on this cake is Rahm Emanuel, who is the corrupt to his fingernails mayor of that city, is lecturing Trump. It's just remarkable chutzpah. Remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. Arabs murdering Palestinians to the tune of thousands, killed and tortured, but the left doesn't care because it's not Jews. So once again, just like they don't care about African Americans, they don't care about Palestinians. If Arabs are killing Arabs, they don't care. If blacks are killing blacks, they don't care. Which means what? They don't actually care about Arabs. They don't actually care about blacks. And I've always known that of the left. I've always known that. It's unfortunate that more people don't know it. The left has a serious problem with nonviolence. Here's the problem. They don't believe in it. Ladies and gentlemen, an incredibly thoughtful piece in Commentary Magazine by Noah Rothman, just laying it out. The left is violent. And of course, that's just evident if you have a stitch of common sense and you're watching any of this go down. Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, I refer you to the New Republic piece. The New Republic piece, which, by the way, Rothman's referring to, just open calls for violence. Justification for them. The left thinks it's okay. Their nemesis, their enemy, the fact that they're not in power justifies all this. They're leftists. Again, all evil becomes virtue when you're a leftist, right? So if you break the law, that's okay. You're a leftist. You're doing it for good reasons. It's good. If Kate Steinle gets shot on the bay while pregnant, bleeds out in their father's arms because an illegal immigrant came and went, literally 5 times in our nation, and then shot her in cold blood, they don't care. They don't care. Sanctuary city, it's virtuous. You see this? It's always that way with the left. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have a press, so you're going to have to open your mouth and get out there. But ladies and gentlemen, good times. Good times ahead. Thank you for listening to the Brack Lawley program. Be a people of fortitude, character, and courage.
Democrats will regret the power grab.